Okay, so we're going to review it together. Okay? Everybody ready? Question one. You ready? Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Question one. What condition must be met to separate fish from bones?
Immediate use.
Who knows the answer? Immediate use? What's called immediate use? Right away? Second later?
No, like it's part of your meal that you're about to have. Yeah.
Whatever time it takes before the meal to prepare, that's called immediate use. And you're allowed to separate the fish from the bones. Are you allowed to use a knife to cut off? Yeah. The knife or fork to separate the fish from the bones. Are you allowed to use a knife? Are you allowed to use a vessel to separate good from bad?
No, but you said that fork and spoon is possible. Why not?
Why?
Because you don't want your.
Because
It's not helping to separate necessarily, it's just helping you shouldn't get dirty. I mean, it's helping to separate, obviously, but it's not a caving that's special, that's gonna help more than your hands. It's just that you don't want your hands to get dirty. So essentially, you can do the same thing with your hands pretty much, but your hands will get dirty. So it's not there specifically to help in the separation. You get it? It's you get the logic behind it, because any vessel that's there to assist in the separating becomes an issue.
Like a strainer, you can't use.
A strainer for sure you can, because it's a designated use, it has holes in it.
Right.
So for sure you can't use a strainer. But even let's say the lid of a pot, you're straining out liquid and to put the lid of a pot there to hold back, some opinions say it's not clear, but because I've seen different things, but some say that is considered using a vessel to help, that you don't want the pieces to fly out, you just want the liquid, you're putting a lid over there. Some say that's called using a vessel. So again, I've seen different opinions on this, but some say it's a problem. Yeah.
I missed what you said about the knife.
What I'm saying is, you could use a knife to cut away the fish from the bones. You could. You're allowed to. Okay, next question. How may one remove a fly from soup? So who wants to tell me how can you remove a fly from soup? Anyone? You want to tell?
So you could use a spoon to guide the fly to the edge of the pot, and then you start pouring the soup until the fly flops off.
Okay, so who can tell me what condition is necessary? Okay, so who can tell me what condition is necessary, whatever your way you explain to do it, what condition is necessary that you need to be allowed to do that?
If you want to eat it immediately.
Correct. Did everyone hear that? Are you going to be drinking it now? The basic thing we're going through here is it seems like everything's pretty much the same thing, but it's not, because there are situations where it's not considered separating. To do it doesn't make a difference when, what, where. Then there's some situations where you are actually separating, but we allow you because you're going to be drinking it right away. This is one of those situations where it's allowed, even though it's considered separating. Technically, you are separating, but we allow separating if it's close to the time of eating. Get it? So that's why we're going through all these examples to show that there are situations where we say you're allowed. You're allowed. There's no conditions involved because you're not even separating. You're not doing anything. Like I could take this and put it here and put it here. I don't need a condition to say I can only go like this if I'm going to use the scissors. You're not separating, so there's no condition involved. If you're separating, we allow you to separate if you're going to be eating it, using it right away. Now, we have explained this. What's the logic behind it? You're allowed to separate if you're going to be eating right away. Maybe we did discuss this. You're allowed to do malacha because you're going to be using it. So I'm allowed to cook and going to make it right away. I can cook food on Shabbes. Obviously not. So did anyone? I didn't remember this. What's the logic?
No. Is it?
Why are you allowed to separate if you're going to be eating right away?
Is
I'm
it-
allowed to cook in Shabbos, so I'll eat the food right away, so I'm allowed to cook it, right? So
Is it because
I
it's,
think we maybe discussed it. Did I- We did discuss, you remember? What's the, huh?
is it because it's in the process of eating?
Correct. Because being that you're going to eat right away, so this is considered eating. Eating is not a malacha.
Probably
We did mention this.
זה כאילו נבלע, זה טוב.
נבלע בתוך אכילה, זה נחשב אכילה. It's considered eating. It's not, זה לא נחשב מלאכה. Because part of eating is that you take the food. How do you eat? You take the food and you eat it. That's how you eat. So it's not considered a malacha because you're taking what you want. When you take what you don't want, you take out the bad. It's not part of the process of eating. Part of the process of eating is you take what you want and you eat. Now you take out what you don't want. So you take what you want. That's called eating. It's not a malacha. Get it? That's the logic behind it. Let's go to 3. What are the conditions necessary to peel an orange? Can anyone? Give someone else a chance. Okay.
If you want to eat in the moment, you can, because
What?
if you want to eat in the moment, you can, because this is the way to eat the orange. So
Did everyone hear that?
But you need to,
Everyone hear that? If someone didn't hear, say you didn't hear, so we'll say it again. Okay?
Everyone
Don't be
here?
embarrassed to say that you didn't get it. If you didn't get it, say I didn't get it. Just say it. That's it. So you're allowed to peel an orange if you're going to eat the orange now or preparing for the meal right before the time of the meal. You come home from show, start preparing, cutting up, making a dessert with oranges, let's say, and peeling oranges. That's okay.
but you have to do it on top of the garbage can?
Orange peels are not muktzah.
Oh,
No. Tangerine peels could be muktzah, but not orange peels.
what's the difference?
Orange peels, people use orange peels. They make, you could buy chocolate covered orange peels. I remember years ago seeing it. Chocolate, you do things, you grind it. People use orange peels for recipes, correct? So it's not muktzah.
This is muktzah.
Rubber band?
We can do something.
I don't muktzah. I can, לא, זה כאילו,
זה לא מוקצה.
לא מוקצה, כאילו, זה נחשב טלטול. סליחה על השם.
זה נחשב טלטול בשבס, ביצוע בשבס, בחוץ. זה לא כל כך פשוט.
טוב,
Afterwards, תשאל אחר כך.
טוב.
Okay, 3B, what about an apple? Are you allowed to peel an apple?
Yeah.
With the part apple.
What?
With the part of apple, not just the,
So what?
what's called, no, with the part of apple, like when you peel the apple. Like with the
Peels?
Peel with the knife, but not peel with the peel.
I'm not a
I'm not
peeler.
understanding. You're allowed, what are you saying?
When we have, one apple, we can do this, and when we have little pieces, we can.
Like, t'as pas besoin d'être
when you peel like the part of apple, like not just the.
One second. I want to ask everyone if we could just have one at a time. I guess everyone can be part of the questions. Okay, I'll say it again.
Okay, we have an apple.
Yeah.
When we cut it, like, you know, like peel it
Yeah.
with the, like,
Yeah.
not just the small part of it, you know what I mean? Like, even the part of apple, I don't know how to.
Oh, you're saying, I think what you're saying is when you peel the apple, don't just take off the peel, take a little more of the
Yeah.
apple with it, so I guess you're not separating.
Yes.
Why? Why do we need to do
So
that?
it's not the,
So you're not separating.
yeah,
But you say you're allowed to peel an orange. Orange, you're allowed to peel?
That's the normal.
yeah, if you wanna eat it.
Because it's not attached, right? The orange.
The orange is stuck to the orange, so it's called separating. So you're allowed to do it if you keep the condition. So why are you saying apple is different? Why should apple be different?
Because you can eat the peel.
So you're saying you shouldn't be allowed?
No, you are allowed.
But you're saying
Yeah,
you are allowed only if you take part of the apple with it?
I think yes, no.
The normal way of eating an orange is without.
Okay, so the answer, let me explain this. We're saying over here is that the apple is not a problem at all. Apple is different than orange. What's different? What's the difference between apple and orange? Difference is orange, you have to have a condition. You're allowed to peel an orange if you have the condition that you're going to be eating right away. An apple, you don't need a condition. An apple, you could just peel whatever. Even if you're not eating it right away, you could peel it. Why? Because apple, you're not separating. Why? Because people eat the peel. So the apple is considered the food. It's like, can I take a chocolate cake, I have a nice chocolate cake, and I'm gonna cut off, slice off the top of the, the top of the chocolate is very like nice and smooth. So you're gonna, I like the top. I'll cut off the top of the chocolate cake. Is that called separating? No, because it's one food. Separating is not as when there's two separate things that are mixed or stuck together. But the apple, you getting it? The apple is one thing. Apple is not called separating at all. So you're allowed to peel an apple, even if you're not going to eat it now. If you're going to eat it 4 hours from now, you're allowed to peel the apple. Is that clear? Did everyone get the apple? Okay, like you said, a cucumber. If people eat peels, from what I understand, most people would eat the peels of the cucumber, correct? Yeah, so that's why cucumber is also not a problem. But but there is an issue because the edge of the cucumber is very bitter, and that part could raise an issue, like the edge. So it gets tricky with the cucumber. So you want to do it now. The interesting thing is you're allowed to use a peeler to peel an apple.
You allowed to use a peeler?
Yeah, for an apple. For an apple. Why? Why? Don't follow this. Why allow you use a peeler to peel an
Because
apple?
it's not.
Because you're not separating. If you're not separating, there's no problem using a peeler. A peeler, generally, you don't use a peeler on Shabbes. You don't use a peeler on Shabbes because you're doing the Halacha of separating. But when you're not doing the Halacha of separating, you're not doing anything, like when you're peeling an apple, there's no problem using a peeler. You're not doing anything. It's one thing. Apple, it's not two different foods stuck mixed together. So you're just peeling it. You can use a peeler. 4. Is one permitted to sort a mixture of candies and chocolates for later in the day?
No.
Everyone gets that? Yeah, it's considered not allowed. 5. Is one permitted to set the table with cutlery that is mixed together before leaving to Shul and Shabbos?
No.
You can't, right? Everyone gets that?
Yeah.
6. Okay, so 6 we did not discuss. So let's discuss it now. Cracking nuts on Shabbos. What's the issue with cracking nuts on Shabbos? Cracking nuts on Shabbos is not different than peeling an orange. Am I allowed to peel an orange on Shabbos?
Yeah.
Well, we discussed in 3a, you can peel an orange if you're going to eat orange now, right? So cracking nuts is similar to an orange. Everyone get that? Everyone following me? Yeah? Okay. Now, but there is an issue with cracking nuts on Shabbos. What is the issue? The Al Teves says that you should not crack nuts on Shabbos. Why? There's 2 reasons why you can't crack. You shouldn't. Now, it doesn't say you're not allowed. It never says you should really be careful. Like it's just really not a good idea. Like you really don't want to do it. Why? 2 reasons. One reason is because even though it's not considered separating, I mean it is, but you're allowed to do it. Like the same like peeling an orange. But what happens when people crack nuts? You don't crack one. It's not like take a nut. You crack it, break off the peel, and then you eat it. You crack and you crack and you crack. You crack a whole bunch of nuts, right? The table comes full of nuts. Nuts and peels. So yeah, nuts and peels, broken peels with nuts all together on the table. Now, and you're allowed to do it, right? Because just like peeling an orange. But after everything is cracked already, and it's not stuck together anymore, it's separated on the table, but it's all together, it's close together. Now, are you allowed to take away the peels, the shells of the nuts? Why not? One reason is muktzah, but even if it wouldn't be muktzah, it would be an issue of separating, because you're taking the bad from the good. But we said you're allowed to. Well, you're allowed to peel an orange, you're allowed to crack nuts, you're allowed to. Yeah, you're allowed to. Why are you allowed to crack nuts? Because if you're eating it right away, it's just like peeling an orange. But once it's already cracked and separated, now you're supposed to be taking the nuts from the shell. You can't take the shell from the nuts because you're taking the bad from the good. And what could happen is people will forget, not realizing, and they'll start pushing away the shells to get the nuts. And once it's already cracked and it's not stuck anymore together, the nuts and the nuts is available. You just take the nut. You can't take the shell, you gotta take the nut. And people forget and they'll take the shell. So even if the shell wouldn't be muktzah, it still would be an issue because you're taking the bad from the good. So because of these two problems, the teves says, don't eat nuts on Shabbos. But obviously, if you have nuts that are shelled, it's not a problem. We're talking about nuts that aren't shelled. You shouldn't be peeling nuts on Shabbos. Any questions? Seven, 8. If one has a bowl of soup with rice and desires only the rice, is it permitted to pour out the soup, leaving the rice behind? Then we'll get there. You have soup and rice. You're pouring out the soup, pouring it out, yeah, a bowl of soup, pouring out the soup, and the rice stays behind. Going like this, whatever you're leaving the rice behind. So you're going like this, holding the wrong end, pouring it out until all the soup goes out and you're only left with the rice.
Oh, wow.
Is that called separating? Is that considered separating? And is that allowed?
It's
Huh?
separating.
It's considered separating, right?
Yeah.
Now, but like we know already, even if it's considered separating, we know you're allowed to separate certain situations if it's close to the time of eating. So is there any way that you're going to be allowed to do that? We say it's close, yeah? So what is that?
Close to the meal.
And he wants the rice. So what does it say in the question? He desires only the rice. So the soup is going out and he's left with the rice and he wants the rice. Is he allowed to do it? Anyone?
In the time of night.
Huh?
Took the rice, he kept it.
He wants, and he's holding on to the Al Taneva says it. So there's really a machlokes. But the Al Taneva holds in the Siddur. Al Taneva said in the Siddur, which was later on, he said, whatever is left in your hand is what you're taking. What you're actually doing is you're taking what's in your hand. Meaning, there is an issue over here. Let's keep it simple. No, the Al Taneva saying is like this. Al Taneva saying what's left in your hand is what you're taking. When you are pouring out soup and you left with rice, that's considered that you took the rice. It's not considered that you took the liquid. It's considered you took the rice because the rice is in your hand. So that's what you took. And the rice is what you want. So you took what you want. So other opinions hold that when you're pouring out the soup, it's considered taking the soup from the rice. What you're doing is you're taking the soup from rice. Now, Taneva says when you're pouring out the soup, you're taking the rice because the rice is in your hand. You get it?
So you can use the rice, but not the soup.
You can use, if you want the rice, then you're allowed to pour out the soup and take the rice, because what you're doing is you're taking what you want.
So same with a can of tuna then, why don't we do that?
Can of tuna, what does a can of tuna have to do with
The
this?
same thing, you wanna pour out the oil or the water and you wanna use the tuna.
Yeah, you could pour it, you don't press them.
According to Dal Tuna, but what the problem is opening a can of tuna, that's another, can't discuss that now, it's a separate question. According to Dal Tuna, if you want the tuna, and you're pouring it out, and you're left with the tuna, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to, yeah. But there are other opinions that say you shouldn't. There are some opinions saying you should still be machmir, because the original teves are different, but halachically it's okay. Yes, but again, there is still room, let's make this clear, there's still, even though we're saying that you're allowed, there is room for stringency, meaning there is such a concept of some being strict about this. But halachically, now Rebbe does say what you take is what you're doing. Do you understand what the issue is? There is an issue over here. Let me explain this. When you're pouring out soup and you're left with the rice, here we have a whole different problem. There's two opinions what you're doing. Till now, we always knew what we were doing. The question was, are you allowed or not? Now the question is, what are you doing? You don't even know what you're doing. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Usually, if things are mixed together, all is mixed together. So I'm taking, I know what I'm doing. I'm taking what I want, what I don't want. When I'm pouring out the soup. I don't want the soup, let's say, right? Oh, so I'm taking out the soup, right? I'm separating soup. No, I'm not, I'm holding the rice. What am I doing? The issue over here is, what am I doing over here? Am I taking the rice or am I pouring out the soup? I do both, but what am I doing? What is the action? You get it? You get this? No, it's not complicated. No, what you're doing. When you have a mixture of something, when you have a mixture, you know what you're doing. You take out, you took this from here. When you are pouring, you're doing two things. You're pouring out the soup, so you can say, I'm separating the soup. Oh, I'm allowed to separate the soup? Okay, yes, yeah, I do. Or you could say, I'm not separating the soup. What's left in my hand is what I'm taking. I'm left with the rice. So I separated the rice from the soup. How do we view this? That's the machlokes, how to view this. Get it?
Yeah.
So Dal Rebbe Shulchan Aruch says one way. Then Dal Rebbe later in the Siddur says a different way. And we usually go over what Dal Rebbe said later on. Later on, Dal Rebbe said that what you're actually doing is what's left in your hand is what you're doing. We look at what's in your hand. If you pour out the soup and you left the rice, so we say that what you did was you took the rice from the soup, not the soup from the rice. You took rice from soup. Okay, so now we know what you did. Now, this question was question 7 saying, if one has a bowl of soup with rice and only desires the rice, now he wants the rice, is he permitted to pour out the soup, leaving the rice behind? So what would be the answer? Now you understand what was happening. You're pouring out the soup, leaving the rice behind, and you want the rice. So according to the Alter Rebbe and the Siddur, what would be the halacha? Yeah, is everyone on the same page? Yeah, yeah, because that's what you're taking, that's what you want. Okay. Shabbos, everyone. Hold on to these sheets. We'll continue next week. And B'ez Hashem.
Thank you.